One of the biggest lies I was told is that dangerous men are aggressive, loud, and you name it. And what I found after studying leadership, getting into rebuilding myself, reinventing everything about me, going into jiu-jitsu classes, boxing classes, Muay Thai, MMA, I understand something. The loudest guy in the room is always the weakest. It's like the person that wants the most presence is constantly over explaining, over laughing, overreacting. The person that just tries to be the loudest person in the room is projecting instability. Power is never loud, it's calm. It's the most dangerous person in the room is the calmest person. Is the person that doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. That's the most dangerous person in the room. And if you don't understand why, you keep mistaking noise for strength. Let me explain something that took me years to learn, okay? When I was younger, I genuinely thought that as long as you're intense, you speak louder, you move faster, you're going to be perceived as someone not to mess around with. I grew up in Italy, and then when I came to the UK, I had to adapt fast because they were two completely different environments that, in order for me to feel safe in, required a completely different mechanism. In Italy, it was a lot more relaxed, more chilled. I grew up there, born with some of these people, so most of it was just really relaxed. In the UK, though, in order for me to earn safety, I had to show them that I was one of them. But in order for me to be one of them, I need to understand what that one looked like. So what was it? What was it about how they moved, how they spoke, what music they listened to, and what they done? The moment I felt like an outcast, I was in danger. So I had to learn how to blend in. So the calm and dangerous person isn't trying to win approval. He's actually doing the opposite. He's observant. He's understanding how to understand what is actually happening, or what value he can provide, or what's the loophole that he can utilize to his advantage. He's observing, he's utilizing observation as power. And I've noticed that is the same thing when it comes to emotions or difficult or important scenarios. It's better for you to calculate than to react. Always. I want you to write this down somewhere, right? When you get reactive, all you're really saying is that this circumstance has won me over, or this circumstance has subdued me, or this circumstance is the reason why I cannot maintain composure or frame. This is why arguments are not supposed to throw you off. But if you cannot regulate yourself, the truth of the matter is that this is how it works. I feel like leadership is a ripple effect. And what I mean by that is it starts from within. And if it doesn't start from within, then that ripple effect will be based on whatever it started on from. So when your leadership or your ability to regulate yourself is based on financial stability, then that financial stability is what's going to allow you to feel safe, right? Once it's taken away, then you have there's no stability in you, right? If that stability is based on your physique or what you do, then once what you do or your physique is gone, then that stability is gone too. So in other words, you need to attach your stability to something that's going to be there permanently in order for it to establish that ripple effect that is going to stand the test of time, right? And once I understood that, I realized how important it is for me to embody the identity of the calm person, not just make it something that is a preference or it's an emotion that I'm feeling and I'm deciding to feel. I feel calm, so I'm going to be calm. No, I am calm. I am always calm. Right? Even when things are, I am calm. Not nonchalant, I am calm. So I am deciding to look at what I'm doing. See, this is the difference. Nonchalant is unintentional. They just dismiss everything. So even when it's time to love or show whoever you care that you care, because you're nonchalant, you don't know how to do it. So it's almost like you pressed the button and you don't know how to take your finger off it. Being calm, however, is I know when to be calm and I know when to be present. So it's the balance between the two, but I know not to ever react, which is what makes it an effective way to handle things. Calm men are very, very hard to manipulate. And once I understood that, I promise you, my game changed. I was no longer interested in trying to appease or get myself in positions that did not allow me to have the upper hand, which was by remaining calm. Remaining calm was always going to give me the upper hand. The moment I understood that, I just stopped trying to prove anything to anyone. And the problem is, when you have the calmness unlocked, what you're also showing people and yourself is you're giving yourself options. I remember there was a time where someone really, really got on my nerves and they really thought that they'd done it. And whilst that was happening, I was thinking, I was like, if I do this, it's not going to work out well. And then if I do that, that might actually be much beneficial. By the way, this is why there's an intense moment happening. The person just couldn't take my calm away. And by the time I reacted, I was like, okay, cool. So I'm going to do this so that this affects this and creates this ripple effect. And it worked to my benefit, right? I don't want to go into too much detail, but my point is this. Needy energy is fast, stable energy is slow, and stable energy will always give the fact that you've got options, right? Slow movements, measure responses, and no emotional leakage. Give yourself time to pause, right? You need to be able to understand that when you're calm, you get to choose when to strike. And sometimes striking there and then isn't always the best answer. You know it, I know it. Sometimes you gotta go back and think things through, right? Because once you turn, it's almost like, think about it this way. Imagine you got two dogs, right? One dog is erratic. It's like, rah, 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 rah. It just barks the moment it gets a chance and is just ready to salvage whatever's in front of him. And then you have the calm dog next to you that as soon as you click, that's when he says, okay, now it's time to attack. What dog would you ever have? A lot of you guys say you want that dog, but you're that dog. As soon as things get on stage, what you real? Be the dog that's able to give himself commands. No. Shh. They don't need my reaction. That's dangerous. Controlled precision is dangerous. Building a healthy relationship with danger is dangerous. I used to think that reacting immediately will stop people from disrespecting me. In fact, I'd argue and say I thought that, you know what, showing people that I'm someone that just doesn't care about anything, and then if you mess with me, I'm willing to ruin your life. It is what it is. Yeah, was what would show people that, listen, this guy is dangerous. And over time, I realized that it's the opposite. The moment you react emotionally, it's almost like you say, hey guys, you know what? I don't really want my power. Can you take it from me? Yeah, I made this video where I was basically saying that it's like we have a remote control, and they're just pressing the buttons. I want you to be angry. I want you to be happy. I want you to be angry. I want you to be happy. And the moment you realize that if I give that remote control away, that's my leverage gone. So I better keep it close to my chest and think about what I actually want to do here, not what they want me to do, not what they're predicting I'm going to do. No, what do I want to do here? What am I choosing to do here, right? And when you understand that, you understand how to play with silence. You understand how uncomfortable people get when they can't predict your actions. You understand how uncomfortable people get when you are the person that can play with silence. Yeah, so this is gonna cost 500k. And you see how that silence does something. It's almost like, what am I supposed to do? Whoever's uncomfortable with silence loses. So learn how to enjoy silence. Play with silence. Use that to your advantage. And this works in business, in relationships, in negotiations. This is FBI stuff I'm learning. Chris Voss, Chase Hughes, you name it. I learned that from these guys, right? So the point here is this: when you don't react, they don't know where you stand, and because of that uncertainty, you regain control or power. So don't suppress, right? Be calm. Process in a way that doesn't internalize what you're currently witnessing. Because the difference between being calm and suppressing is that you're both quiet, but one is got his chest, his jaw clenched, shoulders are tight, and passive aggressive comments come off later, right? That is not calm. That's just suppression. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the calmness that comes from regulation. Understanding how to digest without internalizing the things that you do not want to internalize. And that only comes by understanding things that create an emotional map, understanding how to process yourself, understanding how to utilize circumstances to your advantage. What is this teaching me, for instance? So these are the 3 things I want you to learn or embody: controlled stress, cold showers, hard training, and deliberate discomfort. Okay, things like challenging yourself, things that okay, I'm gonna do 15k steps today, I'm gonna do 10k steps, or whatever the case is. Challenging your brain to do things that will automatically expand your nervous system into stop creating boundaries for you, and you allowing those boundaries to be set by yourself because of how often you're pushing yourself into discomfort levels that it generally thought that you probably wouldn't have done, right? Learn how to observe your thoughts without reacting. The more you do that, the easier it's going to be for you to do that under pressure. But you cannot do that under pressure without doing that and practicing. Okay? When you can watch your own mind without flinching, no one else is going to be able to flinch you ever again. Number 3 is let go of guilt. Okay? Guilt makes you reactive. Guilt makes you weak. Guilt makes you someone that can be taken advantage of, right? Once you understand that, you're going to understand how to become influential, how to become more respected. And if you don't do this, you're probably going to win arguments, get reactive, and lose authority while all of this is happening. Okay? Now, the problem with this as well is, and what I've experienced in my past breakups and my past failures, is that when you allow yourself to get reactive, your words start to mean less and less, right? And instead of leading, you become a defender that's trying to protect whatever's got left. So the real power is lost in reactiveness. Your enemy isn't other people. Your enemy is reactivity. That's what's really stealing power away from your camp. It's not other people, right? But the more you react, the more you're telling your body that you're not in charge. So stop trying to dominate rooms. Stop trying to influence people without understanding how to regulate and control yourself first, right? Because once you're able to get your nervous system to be stable, as long as it's stable, everything else is going to be that ripple effect that we've spoken about, right? You don't need a car to be stable. You don't need a wife to be stable. You don't need anyone to be stable. Be stable because your nervous system is stable. Or be stable because that's what your identity has attached itself to. Once you recalibrate yourself and you rebuild your tolerance and standards, and then you reframe your identity from reactive to regulated, things are going to shift. And if you want to learn how to do that with someone like myself, coaching you through the next 6 to 12 weeks, the link to do that is in my bio. If not there, it's in either Instagram or TikTok. Feel free to reach out and let's get to work. All right. Really hope this has helped you, because the truth of the matter is that if you don't do this, it's likely that you're going to lose out more than you're going to gain. All right. So let your rooms feel your presence. Let your partners feel your presence. Let your team feel your presence. And I'll see you in the next one.